Finally, the wait is over, and here we are, the Mindset Lounge. You're here with Raluca and Sally. Hi, Raluca, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. A bit cold, I would say, but good.
Just a bit too
Just
cold.
a bit cold.
A bit cold. Okay, so finally, we're here today with our first episode, and today we will be talking about us. This is us, Raluca and Sally, and we are both co-hosts of the Mindset Lounge. Maybe a little bit of introduction about how we met. We're both certified coaches in 2023, and our paths crossed during our study time virtually. Unfortunately, we've never met in person, but we've been in contact weekly or maybe more than once a week sometimes. And it's been a pleasureful journey to both of us. We've supported each other a lot and we shared the same passion and we had a lot of common things in common. And this is when we thought, okay, how about we do something together? And because we love helping people, we help the minds as well through our podcasts.
Yeah, indeed. Nicely said. Nicely said. Yeah. So the idea with the podcast was to help us help others, to share our experience with you guys and to make it worth it. We've been through some things in our lives. We've overcome them. We learned from those things, and now it's time to share our lessons with you.
Life is not always flowery and colorful. We all have some ups and downs and bad days and good days, but we've learned now to master them and as much as we can manage those bad days. And this is what we want to share with you. And you will get a chance as well to share with us any topic on your mind that you want us to discuss or focus on. We will be having guests joining in for more discussions, deeper discussions, as well as the podcast, the episodes carry on. Tell me, Raluca, in just a few words, what's your background? Who are you?
Who am I? That's a very interesting question. I am a person who grew up in a very challenging environment, who lived in a very challenging environment, and this took a toll on my health, but shaped me into the force that I am today. I would describe myself as being a free spirit, or maybe a wild spirit, better saying, a respectful person, a mindful person, authentic and funny. I'm mom of an amazing boy, a mindset shift master, and I strongly believe now that I am someone nice to have around.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are.
What about you? How would you describe yourself?
Okay, so to start with, my name is Sally. I'm based in Brighton, in England. I've lived here for the past 19 years. I finished degree in product design and then somehow ended up being a coach. There's a lot in between, maybe for another time. But the journey made me who I am today. I'm a mom of two, still young kids, but they are the center of my life. And I think they are the reason for any change I want to do and any transformation that I want to live. I'm funny too. I love being around family and friends. I love traveling and I love being out in nature. Rain or shine, if I could, it's just my escape. And it's my me time being in nature and exploring new areas and new destinations. Yeah,
I
that's
feel you
me.
here. I feel you here. Yeah, I didn't want to say much about my professional background because it's quite diverse, wide. people will get to know me in time.
Yeah, I know you've been through different industries, but we both ended up in coaching, and this is what brought us together.
Yeah,
But
that's
you've
the
been
best
through a
thing.
lot, so how would you define success?
Mm. In my opinion, or for me, success is having the freedom to do what I love when I want it and with whom I want it. Um, some part of it might be related to money, but the essence of success for me is freedom.
Mhm.
What about you?
Success to me is very personal, and it has its own measurements to each and every one of us. Maybe in the past it wasn't. This is what wasn't what I was thinking about success. Is you look into it as what other people see and measure, and this was my biggest mistake, perhaps. But now I see it as whatever makes me satisfied, whether it's ticking my to-do list is a success, or whether it's launching this podcast is a success. So it's whatever I have set myself to do, big or small, and I achieve it and feel the satisfaction with it as well.
No, that's so nicely said. That's so nicely said. I think we should tackle in the future this topic with small successes. Because when you ask people about success, everyone or most of them are looking at such a big picture, but they don't see those small steps that we take forward every day.
There are
And
small wins
those
every
are
day.
the bricks of success in the
That's
end.
it.
So
Yeah. They are the small milestones that takes you to big success, but without them, you wouldn't go anywhere.
you can't advance.
Through our stories here, I could hear a lot of values. What would you say your top values in life, top principles in life are?
My driving force is definitely freedom. No doubt about it. You take that away from me, I'm dead. But my core values are authenticity, commitment, and yeah, I think it's a nice trio for me. I have many more, obviously, but I will speak about them all day. That's not the point. I don't want to get people bored with too many details. What about you? What would you say about your values?
Probably similar to yours, but for me, flexibility is a key one. Appreciation, um, personal appreciation as well as other people appreciating you, and honesty.
Yeah, yeah.
I just don't like when people go around the bushes, and you have to be direct. And it goes, I think it goes hand in hand with appreciation and respect.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I mean, being able to be yourself in front of others, it's a great strength. And getting that level of respect from someone who is feeling okay to be themselves around you, it's a great thing to have.
Yeah. We talked about success. Let's talk about failure.
Mm. Mm.
There is no success without failure, let's face it.
Oh, I have so many. Oh, I have so many.
How do you see failures to start with?
Um, now, now I see them as stepping stones. In the past, I was quite rough with myself, to be honest. I couldn't see when I say in the past, I refer mainly when I was quite young. I couldn't see the opportunity that a failure brings. I couldn't see it. Now I can. I'm exploiting that actually. But one of my biggest failures if I can call it failure now, this is how I saw it in the past, was to invest all my time, all my energy in getting the knowledge necessary to help someone who didn't really want to be helped. That someone was my father, which I loved dearly. But all this transformed into an emotional abuse. So basically, emotional abuse was part of my life. For the first part of my life, I invested everything that I could to help him until I realized that he didn't really want help. It was just a saying, help me. And I spent the other half of my life trying to rebuild myself. And as a lesson from this failure, now I would say that people who really need and want help are also willing to put the work into it to get themselves out of the mud. Sometimes they cannot do it by themselves, but they need that driving force, that willingness of doing everything to get themselves out. Otherwise, nobody will be able to help them. That's my lesson.
Thank you for
My
sharing.
takeaway.
That's so personal. Thank you. Yeah. I think the first step in realizing this lesson is when you know you're stuck, that you need help, this is the first realization, and I see it as a win when you come to that realization.
Yeah. But also, I've seen many people around me trying to help other people that didn't really want their help. And to invest all your time and energy into doing something for someone that doesn't want you to do that, it's a total waste of time. And you end up suffering, losing your energy, your resources, and with
That
no
takes us to
outcome.
us to what's within your control and what you.
Exactly. Good point.
This is definitely a topic to tackle on one of the episodes. It's what we think is in our control, but at the same time, there is so much we can do. We'll
And
leave
also
that for
to
another time.
observe the people around us, because some people's actions don't align with what they say they want.
With the values that we just explored.
Yeah. And this is when the conflict appears. That's an interesting topic to explore further on. What about you? Tell me a failure, something that was a stepping stone for you.
I don't know if I would call it a failure, but I remember I felt like a failure when I finished uni and I had a master's in packaging technology, and I did not work with it a single day. And then I felt what a waste of time and money. And I felt such a failure at the time. But now reflecting on it back, it was never a failure. It was a learning for me. First of all, no knowledge goes to waste.
Oh, yeah.
That's a definite. But I've learned from then is to explore different paths and not be focused on one. If one door closes, many will open. But it took me a long time to realize that and accept that I'm not a failure, but life was making life. So there was other things in the future held for me for the right time. I'm a big believer of it's meant to be what it's meant to be in the right time. But accepting it at the time was difficult, but that was a learning now. And when I reflect back on it, it makes me happy actually reflecting back on it, because of all of what I've shared, and it's a reminder when I feel like that again, actually no, there are other doors that will open up.
Yeah. Our story is quite similar with going to uni.
Yeah.
Because I did pretty much the same thing. I've studied something that I didn't really practice. which is low sciences, but I feel it very useful now, especially when I had to draft my contract. So yeah, useful.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
can't
No
buy their
knowledge goes to
knowledge.
waste.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
brilliant.
what brought you to coaching?
I think coaching brought me to coaching. My first contact with coaching was in 2004 when I entered sales. We were taught coaching techniques to be able to adapt to our clients' needs. We weren't just sales agents, we were sales consultants. So we use coaching techniques to find out more about our clients' needs, desires, how they are planning to use the services or the products and stuff like that. That was my first contact with coaching, and after that, in 2012, 12 years ago, when I started my self-development journey, I think every step that I took since then was in this direction, and in the end, I realized 5 years ago or 6 that that's my path. Obviously, I had to study, to work, to reflect, to learn how to transform what I know and how to adapt that and help people. But yeah, this is pretty much how things went for me. Coaching attracted me. I didn't know I want to be a coach, but
I think it's very
now I
similar
do.
to me. I didn't search for to be a coach or look to be a coach, but it was the moment in my life when I felt down. Self-confidence was a bit low, doubting myself and my thoughts, and that has affected my relationships with the people around me, or I could feel the tension, and I wanted to change. Somehow I came across a free webinar about coaching, and I felt that's it. This is what I want. This is my passion. And when I started, funny enough, I didn't think of it as a career or job change at all. I was happy with what I'm doing at the time, but I was mainly took the course to embark the self-discovery journey and know more about myself. I was at that time confident that I have to change in order to be happier, because I can't change the people around me, can't change the environment.
Good point.
And that the self-discovery journey was just phenomenal. I've learned a lot about myself, my weaknesses, my strength, and my beliefs, everything that I have never actually stopped and focused to explore before. And then I thought, okay, if I have helped myself, why not help others? And took it more seriously into building my coaching practice. And but now when I reflect back, I remember a lot of my friends saying, "You're such a good listener." And I've never thought I could do anything with that skill because I didn't believe I have that skill. But yeah, maybe they were right. I'm sure they were, because this is where I landed now.
Your story reminded me about a moment that I had with a client when I worked in sales. Um, it was a client that came with a complaint, opened the door to our store and started shouting that he's gonna shoot us all. This is how the relationship started, and we ended up him telling me that I'm a brilliant communicator. I never thought about that before, but it got me into a place of reflection. I reflected over it and I realized that he's not far from the truth, but I still have to improve on that. But it was a pivotal moment in a way. It's like an eye-opening moment.
We underestimate sometimes the strength and the skills that we have.
Yeah.
It just takes me back to an image of the half cup full
Mm,
Whatever
mm,
side you want to see, you want to
yeah.
just focus on your weaknesses, or you want to focus on both sides and improve your weaknesses using your strengths. So it just takes me back to that moment, and it's a great realization, and we should all appreciate our strengths and skills and celebrate them.
Yeah, we should. It's hard though in a world where many people try to or are pretending to be something they are not, and another part of a large mass who's looking up to them, thinking that that's brilliant, that's right, but everyone is pretending pretty much. It's a world full of fakeness,
True.
and this is something that takes people away from their reality and throws them into wishing or wanting a world that is not the real one.
Steals their identity.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Deep
But
down.
going back to celebrating, do you remember a success story that you could share with us and what you've learned from that?
I have many. I have many, but I think I would refer to one that actually happened last year. Um, you know that I had to face some health challenges. Um, my success story was to overcome the last health problem that I had to face. Um, and I'm still on the healing path. However, um, I had a great takeaway from this experience, which unfortunately it's not my first one. I think preparation is key to everything that we go through. In my case, I prepared my body and my mind almost a year for the surgery that I had in September, and considering all the complications that followed, if I wouldn't have prepared myself, I wouldn't have probably been here today. So that was a great lesson, preparation. If you can anticipate and prepare for something, it's gonna make a difference, a huge one. For me, it was huge, definitely.
True, true.
Even
Definitely
mindset
preparation
wise.
is key.
Yeah, yeah. What about you?
Um, I would say the one I remembered the most was 6 years ago when I had to step in and manage a family business that I had no idea what what the hell I was about to do. No idea. But I thought I would challenge myself, and I took on some courses and developed myself, and I believe I've done a great job with the knowledge that I had. Um, Still doing it, still loving it. So I've learned from that. When there is a will, there is a way,
Oh yeah,
but top it up with interest and
yeah.
excitement. I have ants in my pants. I can't sit down on like 9 to 5 job in the office. No, I have to move around and do things. So that was my interest, and this is what I wanted to incorporate in whatever I do. With coaching, not so much because I can't take the client for a walk with my laptop, but um, I would definitely take breaks and things like that, go out. But yeah, I've learned with when you have the will and when you have the passion to do something, you will do it perfectly.
No, yeah, yeah. I feel you're like my twin sister from another mother.
One day we will meet and maybe we can have
Oh,
a
I'm
DNA
looking
test or
forward.
something.
Tell me something fun about you.
Something fun. Everything is fun. I just love life, and something fun. I reflect mostly in the bath when I'm having a shower, the longest shower. This is where all the ideas come flowing to my, actually, I have 3 places, I'll be very honest. One is in the shower. I feel this is like me time, and the sound of the water gives me ideas, and this is, yeah, honestly, it's my reflection time. In nature, as I've mentioned before, I love walking. I love going on hikes around us in the downs. It's beautiful. And also, I love looking at the sky, a cloudy sky, and imagining things from, like, images from the clouds, and live with them like it's a story, and I live in that story. And I share it with my kids sometimes when I'm driving, and they do see sometimes the same thing, sometimes different.
The
But
dragon in the sky, huh?
we had an elephant the other day, yeah. So this is, it gives me an inspiration, and it just numbs my brain as well. Yeah.
Awesome.
What about you?
Awesome. Mm. Yeah, same. Quite a few things. My partner believes sometimes I'm a complete child. I need cuddles and kisses and to be spoiled and stuff. But one thing that I do when I go for my walks, sometimes I listen to a book or just something, and an idea pops in my head, and I'm all of a sudden dancing, or someone comes and sees me, and I'm just huge smile from one ear to the other, and everyone smiles back. I feel like, okay, they are smiling. I'm not sure if they are laughing at me or with me, but when they see me, like,
Well, you made
yeah,
them smile. You made them
yeah,
their day
definitely,
better.
definitely. I'm childish. I'm
Mm.
childish, but you know what? I think I think that's a good thing, because considering everything that I've been through, if I still have that innocence, it's just, yeah, I'm an
We
innocent
all
child.
have an inner child,
Mm,
and yeah, inner child has to take over sometimes
I
to
think
make the
mine
life
has
easier and
healed. Yeah, mine has
better.
healed and is all over the place.
Going back to the child, if you had a superhero, a favorite
Mm,
one, what would it be?
Sticking to the child, I don't know if you know the cartoon Kung Fu Panda.
Of
I
course.
think I'm Kung Fu Panda. Um, I see him as being very funny. It's a lot. He doesn't care much about the opinion of others. Jumps and plays around and finds solutions for everything instinctively. Makes everything seem easy. And yeah, yeah, Kung Fu Panda. It's a funny hero, my superhero.
He's cuddly as well.
Yeah, he is like me.
And you like cuddle. Yeah, that works.
What about
I
you?
would be Jerry.
Mm,
Jerry from Tom and Jerry.
why
Not
is
quite
that?
superhero. Like, if I were to ask my son, he wouldn't approve that Jerry is a superhero. But Jerry's cheeky, and he's suspicious and fun, runs around, and but at the same time he has this kind side to him. He's little, I'm quite short, so it works well. But the fun and enjoyment aspect in Jerry is definitely my go-to. Yeah,
Brilliant, I can
cheeky,
see you.
just running around the house, poking my head. I don't
Well,
like cheese though.
mm,
That's the only thing we don't have in common,
no
me
worries.
and Jerry.
You can eat sweets. Jerry loves them.
I don't mind that.
Tell us, what hobby or hobbies or interests do you have?
I love planning events and travels. I did work in travel for 7 years, and it was my favorite, planning trip for others, especially honeymoon trips. And I would
Mm,
just do them with love, and would find like places to eat, places to visit, and not just the travel as in flight and hotel. And I loved doing that so much, and I still do for our family. I love exploring new areas and planning the trip from A to Z, and also planning events, planning for to bring people together. So I love planning. anything. Brings me very much joy. It's never a burden for me planning something that brings people together. And that's really something I'm interested in.
Nice.
Yeah.
I might use your skill set here.
At any time.
Thank you.
What's yours then?
I have many hobbies, to be honest. I think depends a lot on my mood. I like to sing, I like to dance, I like to play guitar sometimes. I didn't study guitar though. I like to paint. This one behind me is done by me. I find it so relaxing, and I find like how can I say, my brain stops wandering when I create something with my hands, type of thing.
Which hobby do the people around you not know about you that you have? Which one are you keeping secret?
Many people don't know that I paint, and many people don't know that I sing. And I used to sing, and I used to be part of a choir as first voice in my youth. I like to sing, but I didn't do it in a long time.
I can see the
I'm
joy
doing
that
it
it
in my
brought.
car.
You had the biggest smile when you were saying, I love to sing.
Yeah, it's something that I like.
Okay, so as we wrap up the first episode, what piece of advice would you give to our beautiful listeners?
I don't like giving advice generally, but if there is something that I would say, I would say something that I've seen as well, and I relate to very much. This being, you are what you think. And if you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. And I think this brings us to mindset, which I like to say in 2 words: mindset. It's a very powerful tool which can work for you or against you. Depends how you use it. What about you?
Wow,
Give us
beautifully
something.
said.
Thank you.
Well, Jerry doesn't really give advice, but the thing I've learned the
Neither Kung
past
Fu Panda.
few years, the things I've learned through the past few years, I would say through my coaching journey in particular, has been to savor today. And this is why I think it's called the present. Be in the present moment. A lot of the, I remember when I was doing my coaching diploma, I was so focused on what's after I finish, what's gonna happen. And it took away the joy at the beginning from the now, from the journey that I am about to embark. And my coach told me, we came to realization through the coaching sessions is to savor today, because I've then realized I can't have yesterday back, and I don't know what tomorrow holds for me. So by focusing on today is what I have control over, some control over is today. So by focusing on the future or the past, it's just gonna rob today from you. Live it, enjoy it, and have fun.
Today is a gift. That's why it's called present. Nice.
That's
nice.
it. Yeah,
Thank you.
said.
Thank you, Sally.
Thank you for tuning in, and many more episodes to come. Stay
Looking
tuned.
forward.
Subscribe to the channel because you don't want to miss what's coming.
No.
Speak soon.
We have a lot of beans to spill.
Yeah. See you soon in the Mindset Lounge with Raluca and Sally. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.